It seems like every time the Super Bowl is played, some story pops up about someone's tickets getting stolen, or someone getting caught trying to steal tickets and getting arrested. Even though ticketing has gone in a more mobile direction nowadays, it still happens. One man at Super Bowl 54 got arrested for selling stolen tickets. A Microsoft executive stole over $1 million in Super Bowl tickets. It can happen to everyday people, and it can happen to NFL players. As an example of this, Bears cornerback Cravon LeBlanc's tickets were stolen prior to Super Bowl 51. People will do crazy and highly illegal things to try and get into the Super Bowl. I made a video about the man who hopped the fence at Tampa Stadium at Super Bowl XVIII with a gun if you want to check that out in the upper right corner. But perhaps no story is as crazy as this one. Imagine trying to get into a Super Bowl where the Steelers are playing and stealing the tickets from Terry Bradshaw himself. This is the story behind that. It's January 17, 1980, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are set to take on the Los Angeles Rams at Super Bowl XIV in 3 days at the Rose Bowl. For Pittsburgh, it's just another year for them, as this is their 4th trip to the big game in 6 years. And a big reason why the Steelers are playing in the Super Bowl is because of Terry Bradshaw. After his 1978 campaign, where he led the league with 28 touchdown passes, won the Super Bowl MVP, and won the league MVP, he picked up right where he left off in 1979. During the 1979 season, Bradshaw threw 26 touchdowns and threw for a career-high 3,724 passing yards. I made a video about Bradshaw during the late 70s if you want to check that out in the upper right corner. Now, after defeating the Houston Oilers in the AFC Championship, he was back in the Super Bowl. And at this point, he was the most popular player in the league, so he was easily recognizable. 3 days before the game on January 17th, Bradshaw was hanging out at a coffee shop near the team's hotel at Newport Beach. While he was there, he was approached by a fan, who asked if he could sign some autographs for her kids. I like to imagine that the fan came up to Bradshaw, told him that he was the greatest ever, and handed him a Coke. But alas, that did not happen. However, Bradshaw accepted the request. Keep in mind that during this process, Bradshaw was holding a folder which included the team's playbook, and of course, the tickets to the Super Bowl. As Bradshaw was doing this, his arm got pulled by the lady. With that, everything came flying out. And by the time Bradshaw picked up everything off the ground, it was too late. The tickets were gone. Just like that, Terry Bradshaw had lost 16 tickets to the Super Bowl. We don't know what happened to the person who stole the 16 tickets, who this person was, what she did with the tickets, or what Bradshaw did afterwards. But someone had just successfully stolen the tickets from the most popular player in football, the reigning Super Bowl MVP, and the starting quarterback of the game. The incident wouldn't distract Bradshaw though, as he won another Super Bowl MVP, winning his 4th title in 6 years after defeating the Los Angeles Rams 31-19. And for Bradshaw, he became just the 2nd player in NFL history at the time, alongside Packers legend Bart Starr, to win multiple Super Bowl MVPs as he threw for 309 yards and 2 touchdowns. 3 years prior at Super Bowl XI, which was also held at the Rose Bowl, Raiders head coach John Madden avoided this problem and this drama entirely with his team. He said, "I'd always figured that the team with the fewest complaints always won the game. The team that was complaining about extra tickets usually lost. So the first week, I said we're going to get everything out of the way. I got all the players' tickets right off the bat and told them to get rid of them before we flew down to Los Angeles." If only Terry Bradshaw heard those wise words. Special thanks to all our Patreon supporters for helping out the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See how you can become a patron and request future video topics in the description below.